This June 15th through 17th, come down to the Colorado Convention Center for the first annual Denver Comic-Con.
The Denver Comic-Con will be visited by plenty of amazing guests like Kristen Bauer from True Blood or Will Wheaton from Star Trek The Next Generation. Hey, Futurama fans, guess what? Billy West is going to be there. Tom Kane, Steven Seagal, Greg Weisman.
Realize your dream by meeting one of your favorite comic book artists in Artist Alley.
Hey, dorks, does Darth Nerd keep on beating you in lightsaber? Good news, they have Jedi training.
Are you looking for a really hard-to-find comic? Well, Denver Comic-Con's got so many vendors they had to move to a bigger room.
Hey, nerds, you want to get screwed out of your Vulcan minds? Try sci-fi speed dating. Buy your tickets online at denvercomiccon.com to the Comic-Con that's a mile above the rest. In Colorado, there is only one place that has the best selection of collectibles: Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
For over 27 years, Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics has been the ultimate destination for collectors.
They have a wide selection of hard-to-find coins, action figures, role-playing cards. You can go over there and get yourself a copy of Dominion and sports memorabilia.
Hey, Peyton Manning's a Bronco. I was there yesterday. They have a signed Peyton Manning jersey.
And, of course, they've got comics, which is what I go there for.
All their back issues are half off. On Saturday, all dollar issues are only 50 cents.
And if you sign up for a hold slot, you'll get 20% off graphic novels and comics.
So stop by 6700 Wadsworth Boulevard in Arvada, Colorado, and tell them the Real Nerd sent you. Welcome to Real Nerds. I am Ryan. To my right is
James.
And all the way in Shanghai is
We're
Brad.
still doing this joke.
Hey, we don't have a lot of good jokes around here.
I'm trying to keep it consistent and fun. Do you not want me to tell people that you're somewhere else? Well, sitting on my Papasan chair is Brad, looking really excited to do real news today.
Well, the Papasan chair is still in.
Oh, actually, Brad does have
state.
news today.
I do have
Oh,
news
really?
today.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Surprisingly.
No face.
Oh, man. Oh, all right. Well, that's egg on me. It's an
Totally.
egg. It's an egg all over me.
Hey, did you know that if you've never listened to Real Nerds, we have an awesome format to follow?
Well, we have everyone else's format, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just steal it because, we have nothing original. First, we start with news. We also do what we've been watching. Our new feature is comic books we've been reading.
Yeah.
And then we finish it with a movie we see every week, which is our feature movie. And this week we saw The 5-Year Engagement.
With Jason Segel.
Dude, you just love for you some Alison Brie. Real news.
Well, I do.
It's real news. So I'll start off real news with actually something special for Brad. I'll make you the most important thing on real news.
Finally.
Was it about Ninja Turtles?
No, it's not about Ninja Turtles.
Oh, well, then I don't
actually, it's
care.
about Brad's creativity. Brad, why don't you tell everybody what happened to you this week?
Whoa.
So on Friday, I found out...
Okay, we heard enough from Brad. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Brad.
On Friday, I discovered there was an open screen night at a local theater in town.
In Shanghai?
Actually,
Sorry.
it was called the Oriental Theater.
Oh, shoot.
And they were taking submissions of local videos and film. I quickly slapped a DVD together of all the Nebulous Vision stop-motion projects, and I presented it down there, and our videos took first place.
So was
What?
it the group of videos, or was one specific one voted on as the favorite?
You mean of ours?
Yes.
Yeah, I compiled, I think, 7 or 8 stop-motion videos we did, and called those all like a stop-motion collection, so they all voted on that whole
Gotcha.
body of work.
Because the one you posted on Facebook was really good. I mean, I've seen it before, but if you haven't seen it, what's the name of the one you just posted on Facebook?
Is it that Captain-centric one?
Yeah, where he's driving the car, right? And he's like...
Yeah, that's the people who hosted the event. They actually posted that, not me.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Nice.
So-
Good for you.
So after I left, they looked us up and picked that video because
'Cause it's a good one.
on YouTube. It's one of the not all the stop motion stuff's on YouTube. So
Brad's getting big time. He's going to leave us behind.
and
I know.
we've with the there was also prizes that I didn't know. So we got a $50 gift card for Best Buy and a certificate for free admission to the next one next month. So
Cool. And for people who don't know, Brad's stop motion is really good. That one that...
it's experimental.
I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, they're really creative.
Just take the compliment.
And, what a fucking dick. All right, Brad, they suck. I can really tell they're experimental. I mean, how do you pay a guy a compliment when he tells you, fuck?
I really don't know.
But actually, my favorite one actually stars Brad as the villain of it, and
Mustachio. Yeah.
Mustachio.
I lined up on the DVD for the whole piece. I started with Captain Eccentric and ended with Mustachio because they're bookends. Because Mustachio's trying to go after Captain Eccentric.
So he has a little thing going.
But
on.
we haven't done the third one yet, so I don't know where it's going. But it was cool because those stop motion videos I've never shown in public. Like they've always been on the internet. But like our earlier stuff, I got to show in college to a group of people and get feedback. And so the stop motion stuff I've done way after college and just show them to close friends.
Right.
So this was cool to see or to hear just how much laughter and like this one. Obviously, most people are drunk or stoned. So it's a little easier to get away with, but this one chick was just like cracking up at the
Sweet
Captain Eccentric and the S'moreland video. Of course, people on the listing have no idea what I'm talking about, but go to nebulousvisions.com. It's all over our site. And stuff.
Yeah. I will do a little follow up to this. All our stuff is produced by Nebulous Visions, which is Brad's production company that he does. So,
this show is produced by us. So,
it's produced by Nebulous Visions. So anything you see, you also have a website, Sphinx's Domain, which is kind of our goofy one. But a lot of stuff that Brad does is his big thing is Nebulous Visions. So you should really check it out because he does a really good job with it. And now he's getting recognized for it in local communities.
Yeah.
So
it's been a while since we've had like public recognition for stuff, and it's cool to get that.
If Brad keeps getting respect like this, we're gonna have to get him an actual chair to sit in.
I know, not just a chair with a
guys. My
evil
spine
cat.
is so weak. I can't even sit up anymore. But yeah,
so that's really cool. So congratulations to Brad and
you oughta when you post this, you oughta throw links into it so that people can find it.
So
people can watch your videos.
Right. Cool.
Yeah. Be proud of him, Brad. Don't sell yourself short. Buddy.
Now that I know more than us people would just like them, then I think I will show them more.
Yeah, you should. You should show everything. Who gives a shit?
Aquarium gets a lot of.
Well,
hate
don't
on
show.
YouTube, so.
I mean, don't show everything because that's gross.
So in box office numbers last week, the movie we saw, Think Like a Man, which we really liked, it really related to every black man that's on this podcast.
I think I blacked that out.
It was like my autobiography up there.
It was. That was the number one movie, though. So kind of surprisingly, I was reading a lot of industry people. They said they tracked at about 20 million, and it opened at 33 million. But I think the most impressive thing is a 16,000 per screen average. That's pretty good.
Did I really say I liked that? Because I was really hungover Saturday morning, so I really don't remember it at all.
Yeah, the movie we actually saw last week.
Oh,
Comic-Con episode 4 of Fans Hope was clocked in at number 80 with
oh man
6,000. But is this correct on here, Brad? Only 6 theaters were showing it.
Yeah, it's not the debut week of the movie we saw, but those numbers are just what it was the week we saw it.
Only 6 theaters, so the fact that we saw is pretty special.
Yeah, it's on a private circuit, so
Oh, I see.
At that week, it was just 6 theaters. So
cool. So as always, if you need any box office numbers, you can go to Box Office Mojo, and they are very easy to find there.
Did Wrath of Khan not chart at all?
It did not.
Oh shoot!
I don't think they track that anymore.
Unfortunately, they don't.
It was at let's see, what would that have been? About $65, maybe $70.
No, it was what, $8 a person? Maybe like a $700.
Yeah, $8 a person. How many people were in there? 20, 30 people?
Yeah,
something like that. Maybe a $200 showing of The Wrath of Khan.
Enough to pay for the shipping of the print.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they had 2 nights of it, so
$400.
$400, so maybe they gained some money there.
Yeah.
Next week in DVD releases, Blu-ray releases isn't that exciting.
It's amazing.
Is there a giant shark movie?
No.
Oh, dang.
Haywire, though, comes out on Blu-ray, digital, and DVD.
First 10 minutes of that movie are good.
It is. Actually, I like the part with Fassbender until he died.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he was in that movie.
Spoiler.
Because he died.
Yep. Joyful Noise, which is Dolly Parton and Queen Latifah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. There's a lot of there's a Blu-ray, DVD, ultraviolet copy.
What?
A DVD, ultraviolet copy, and a movie-only Blu-ray with ultraviolet. Really getting 3 releases. Wow.
I thought you were saying there were new Blu-ray versions of the movie Ultraviolet, which that... What?
New Year's Eve is also coming out.
In all the same formats as
In
Joyful
all the same
Noise.
formats. W.E., which is the woman's
Madonna.
perspective of the King's Speech. And Madonna made it. I'm never going to see it. And if you really want to be bored and get a preview of how shitty Men in Black 3 is going to be. Men in Black 2 is also on Blu-ray. Thanks, Digital Bits. Remember, if you click on the link on Digital Bits, it takes you to... if you click on DVD-R at Digital Bits, it takes you to a link that takes you to Amazon, where you can purchase the DVD, Blu-ray, and then you support Digital Bits, where we get all our DVD release information from. So support them. Please. Another big news for us kind of locally is, for those who don't know, the Real Nerds, we will be at Denver Comic Con, and hopefully if all works out, we'll be at Podcast Peak, where we'll be podcasting from the Denver Comic Con, which there's a really strong possibility. I think we're already almost guaranteed that, but we've been emailing them back and forth, and they just announced that the cast of The Walking Dead will be there. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them will be there.
Yeah. Who all is going to be there?
The three I know of for sure, their announcement is Stephen Yeun, who plays Glenn.
Cool. One of my favorites.
I forget, what's the name of the lady who plays Maggie? It's like Cohen, something Cohen, right?
How about Maggie Cohen?
Maggie
Something
Cohen.
Corbin.
That's so bad. I don't remember that.
It is. Well, she's new.
She's new, but also I'm kind of excited. Chandler Riggs, who plays Carl, is going to be there, and I mentioned in the email to the Comic-Con people that I'm a really big fan of The Walking Dead. So hint, hint. I should moderate the panel because I still believe that he had a Peter Parker moment when he didn't kill the zombie that was stuck in the mud, and it came back and killed Dale. So that was his great power and great responsibility moment, and I want to ask him how he feels about that, and I think that would elicit a huge reaction from the crowd. They say, "Oh, he's such a nerd, Spider-Man, Walking Dead."
He can buy comics and more comics.
Lauren Cohen.
She's really pretty.
She is.
And she's also English.
Really?
She is.
So she'll be at the panel. And
she'll be at the
talking
panel.
to her. She'll be speaking with that accent back to you.
I know, and I'll take off my wedding ring.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding. My wife is the most beautiful woman in the world. I'm just kidding. Also, a little quick thing that I saw that The Amazing Spider-Man is getting rewritten. Spider-Man 2, I'm sorry, is being tweaked by the guys who wrote Star Trek, the new one.
Well, Kurtzman and Orsi.
Kurtzman and Orsi, who are actually really big screenwriters.
I love this news because I don't think there's anybody. They're very much in the sort of J.J. Abrams camp where you have an action scene every 10 pages, which can be kind of a problem. But the truth is, I don't know that there's anybody who makes more fun movies right now, as far as writers are concerned, than those guys.
So it's kind of cool, because you're taking James Vanderbilt already wrote it, and they're just going through and they're going to tweak it, and that's fine. I mean,
just pump it up, and that's what those guys are good at.
And I mean, if you're going on, Spider-Man 2 was punched up too, so and they got two accomplished screenwriters to do it, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
So that's kind of cool news that I read this week. James, you have news for me?
Oh, absolutely. Brad, don't you have news?
I do.
He does.
What news do you have?
Just
because there's a chance that your news might be my news, and then you can do the news too.
Is my news your news? I'm excited that Black Dynamite 2 is shooting later this year.
Yeah. Well, because we already knew that they were making a cartoon show. They did a pilot last year. And then it's supposed to air this summer, I believe.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, well, that's kind of it's kind of the way Adult Swim does it, is that they'll pay for a pilot, and then they'll see how the pilot does, and then they'll pay for a show, and so there can be a pretty big leap between seeing the pilot and seeing the show, especially when it's animated, because a lot of their stuff is actually hand animated, so it takes a lot of time. So that's why. But it's fantastic to hear officially that they're doing a Black Dynamite 2
movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure what material they'll delve into, but I'm sure it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, because the first Black Dynamite, I remember you telling me about. I really wanted to see it. You went to see it at midnight, correct?
Yeah.
And I was on my way to see Laura up in Fort Collins, so I was driving, and you said, "Oh, dude, Black Dynamite's playing," and I was going to turn around, but then I probably wouldn't have a wife right now. But when
still single,
when it came out on DVD just a couple weeks later.
Yeah,
and I watched it and I was pissing myself because it's one of those movies that it's a very specific spoof, but it's so broad in its humor that it's really funny.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, it's a spoof of blaxploitation movies,
right?
Where he's doing karate for no reason, just punching people through walls. It's great.
Yeah, and not just a spoof of blaxploit. Well, I guess this is all part of that. But, there's a lot of sort of meta filmmaking jokes in there as well, as far as like boom mics getting in the camera, which all happened in blaxploitation, but it happened in other exploitation
All right,
movies.
I
as
threw
well.
that shit from the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember leaving that night, and I thought they had the DVD for sale while I was there. So, like, as I was watching the movie, like, I'm buying that DVD when I get out of the theater. And then
it's so good.
It wasn't true, so I
Yeah.
had to wait. But yeah,
It's great. So that's exciting news.
yeah. And then
Well,
the other thing I
absolutely.
have is I'm really disturbed to hear that theater chains are considering going a little lax on people using their cell phones.
Yeah, and not just small theater chains, but like Regal is talking about this.
Yeah, Alamo Drafthouse is still on the hard line.
Yeah.
I'm proud of them. They're like, no, that is not the place for that thing.
So when they open up in Littleton, that's where we'll go see all our movies.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, basically, what the Regal said was that there are movies like 21 Jump Street that attract younger people that, and not just younger people, but like that kind of people, the kind of people who would be douchey
Rude.
enough to.
Yeah.
Rude people is what they're called.
Yeah, exactly.
Self-absorbed people.
It's
Yep.
worse than that. Having just had some in the movie we're in today, they're the worst. But in those kinds of movies, that they'll be more lax about it. The truth is, I've never seen anybody like disciplined for it, so
Yeah,
I don't
me
really know
either.
what that means. Like, as far as the application of that, I don't really understand.
Why don't they have, like, at the theater, like, a screening, a cell phone use screening of 21 Jump Street? So if you want, you can go to that screening and use your cell
Maybe
phone.
are they saying that, like, they're not going to show that screen that footage beforehand that says like, "Hey, don't text during the show"?
Yeah,
Are they not going to show that?
I think they'll just take those out, and
See, that is definitely silly.
I think it sounds like their rationale is like maybe we're losing customers because, like, the young crowd, we want the young crowd because they're going to be buying tickets longer, for the next the next 10 years. They're going to be our customer base. So let's appeal to them. Like, if they want to use their cell phones and if that makes them feel more comfortable watching our movies, if that gets them in the theater, let's cater to that. Like,
When
the
it-
people who are bothered by that, they're on their way out. They can go home and watch their own movies.
Well, and the CEOs who have said this are sort of basing it on their own experiences with their children. In the quotes, they even make reference to like, "Oh, well, my kids text a lot." But the problem is that the people who are inconsiderate enough to do that in the first place don't think the rules apply to them anyway. So saying like if that's why it's happening, there are so it's not like they're not going to the movie because they're like, "Well, I don't want to get in trouble because I can't text during the movie." I can't imagine that's why ticket sales are going down. Ticket sales are going down because you guys were making crappy movies.
Yeah, I mean, this year when the movies have been better, hands down. So
Yeah.
the tickets sales are surging.
And because the price of the tickets are so high. Like, there are so many other reasons why tickets sales are down way before young kids want to be able to text.
I agree.
Well, also, like, if it's theater owners, right, and they make all their money off concessions, they need to find a way to replace the cell phone with a drink or popcorn in their hands.
The truth is,
If
what
they need some kind of tactile, if they're that ADD
Yeah.
about watching a movie, they need to find a way to convince those moviegoers to replace a cell phone with something they can profit the theater instead of just ticket sales, which go to the studios.
What I've never understood is I don't know why they don't do something like have ticket costs for a movie that is a month old go down.
Yeah.
Because the way that the theaters make money off of the ticket sales is like the first week that a movie's in theaters, the vast majority of the money from ticket sales goes to the production companies. It goes to Hollywood. And then the longer that the movie is in the theater, the more money that theater makes off of those tickets. So they want the movie to be in the theater for longer. That's why this whole thing with like DVDs coming out so quickly after a movie's in theater is a problem for theater chains. So I would think, like, if you drop the tickets price 4 weeks in, even if it's $2, then people who would likely go see a movie more than once are going to do that. Like, it's just stupid. I don't think that texting is going to make ticket sales go up. That's for sure.
If they stop curbing texting and using cell phones, then I'm going to stay home. How's that?
That's for well, no. What it means is that
Equal and opposite reaction, bitches.
Or you just go to on a Tuesday in the morning and no one's there.
Yeah,
when the Aspen Grove Draft House opens up, that's where we're going to go
That's
because
true.
Tim League is a badass and the rest of these people are stupid.
yeah.
Like, it's annoying.
It is very much so.
Well, those were the first three things that I had on my list of news.
Cool.
So just the other couple of things. We're going to see a Top Gun 2 before we see Mission Impossible 5, which is just the worst
Interesting.
idea. Yeah. I mean, it just means that that's what Tom Cruise is lined up to do next, but I don't... Goose is dead. How are you going to make Top Gun 2?
I don't know. Maybe Maverick's the instructor
Spoilers.
at Top Gun.
Spoilers for Top Gun.
That'd be my guess. Is Maverick is the instructor at Top Gun, and
Yeah.
Channing Tatum comes in and is the new hotshot pilot.
He's Goose's son.
Well,
and
and
he
I-
has to train Goose's son.
And
to
then
not- to
and then
not die.
Tom Cruise, Maverick, feels guilty about it the whole time.
Yeah.
I feel like fighter pilots is such a like 80s 90s thing that I don't even know that would play as cool anymore.
Green Lantern.
Yeah, that movie wasn't very good. And that was a movie where like his normal job was he was a fighter pilot and then he becomes a superhero. So that even makes the argument worse because it's like, yeah, everybody's a fighter pilot nowadays. Yeah, I don't know. I think that sounds like a horrible idea.
We'll have to see what they have up their sleeve.
I still have to watch the first one, so I don't know.
Wow.
I wanted to see what you guys are thinking about Sam Raimi making a Poltergeist movie.
I think Sam Raimi actually would probably do very well making a Poltergeist movie. He might make it a little more goofy, but that's why I love Sam.
What do you think about? Are you a fan of Poltergeist?
It's all right. I mean,
I don't think I've ever actually seen the whole movie.
it's one of those movies. I don't know. It's directed by Toby Hooper, but you can feel Steven Spielberg's presence throughout the whole movie. One, because it's a PG horror movie, and two, I don't know. I'll talk about what I saw this week. Sometimes I don't think ghost stories are that scary. A lot of times it's about noise and stuff happening around it.
Yeah.
And the Poltergeist isn't. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's just one of those movies I've seen it a couple times, and I wouldn't rush out to see it. If they had a 30th anniversary Blu-ray, I won't be the first one down there like Jaws. Or I have to get it. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But yeah, I mean, would Sam Raimi do a fun job? I think he would, because he's that super hyperkinetic filmmaker. So we'll see. So yeah, I love Sam, and I'll see anything that Sam's in.
I only have one more piece of news, and that is this week on the Nerds channel they have this new show where Harry Knowles from Ain't It Cool News does like this little 15-minute sort of internet TV show called Ain't It Cool with Harry Knowles. And this week he had Douglas Trumbull on there, who Douglas Trumbull back in the 80s was a big like sci-fi, not CG, but special effects guy. And then he went on to be the guy who is promoting and pushing faster frame rates in cinema. To the point now where he's trying to get people to use like 120 frames per second, which is crazy. But the deal is that the same week that this new interview of Harry Knowles and Douglas Trumbull came out, we also had CinemaCon in Las Vegas last week, where they showed, I believe it was 10 minutes of The Hobbit.
Oh, yeah.
And The Hobbit is
I
all
did read
shot
that.
at 48 frames per second, which, if you don't know, normal movies are shot at 24, because that is sort of, that's the point at which your eyes can't necessarily notice the frame changes, but when you film at higher rates, it changes the way that the footage looks, apparently.
And it's just how it's always been done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a traditional thing. And some weird reactions are coming out of this.
Nobody's happy.
Well, some people think it looks really cool, but a lot of people, are saying that it kind of looks like TV. It looks too real. That's what people keep saying, which is, to me, is a very bizarre argument.
I could have told you that. Have you ever walked into a Best Buy and watched those high frame rate TVs?
Yeah.
It's just
Oh, yeah.
weird.
It does.
No, it does, but I'm not entirely sure that being too real is necessarily a bit. My expectation is that if I watch The Hobbit at 48 frames per second, by the end of the movie, I won't notice that it looks weird anymore. I have a problem when the way that people are describing it reminds me a lot of the way that Michael Mann shoots his movies, because he shoots them all digitally, and the result is that, especially with Public Enemies, because so much of that movie was shot at night, that there are huge sections of that movie that to me look like a History Channel reenactment.
Yeah, or a home movie.
Oh yeah, like it just looks weird.
Flat.
Yeah. And I'm terrified that something like this, like a technical change, could in any way hurt The Hobbit, you know? Like, I'm sure that there are going to be theaters that just don't have the technology, and they're going to show it at 24, and they're going to have a 24 version of this movie, and when I get it on Blu-ray, it'll probably look fine. But I'm curious. I want to know what this looks like, and I'm afraid that the bad news about this might overshine what might actually be good. Like, this to me is a cooler idea than 3D. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause it's not something shiny and new on top of the picture. It is just more frames. You know, it's just getting rid of the fuzz on the camera.
Yeah, I don't know. I was reading an article from IGN, and I hardly ever agree with their movie guy there, but he said, and I guess what his problem with it is it looks so real, and then sometimes when you see the really fake things, it really takes away from it. You know, like the CG.
I think you can see so much clarity to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have to see. I won't judge it until I see it. But
exactly.
Rotten Tomatoes was not happy with it. IGN did not like it. I read a couple others. I don't know if it was Crave Online. A couple other people were not too thrilled with how it looked.
Well, and the other part of the argument is that when you show something at 48 frames per second, especially if you show it in 3D, because it's so much brighter and there are more frames, the 3D works a whole lot better, and that is the other side of the argument, which is that
I can see that working.
That it makes 3D actually more effective.
Well, yeah, because I have listened to a commentary on Friday 13th 3D by a 3D pioneer, and he actually did Jaws 3D, and then he did Friday 13th, and he said the most important thing with it, a lot of people don't know, is lighting.
Yeah,
it has to be so bright, especially. I mean, and it's lighting, not the actors' faces or the foreground. It's lighting up the background tons. Especially back then. So, I mean, I guess, in 3D, it'd probably look a lot better.
Yeah. And the one sort of saving grace to me, or the one thing that keeps me hoping, is that I don't think that Peter Jackson is an idiot, and I don't think that he has bad ideas about movies, and he has even said that, like, they sit and they watch the dailies every day, and they can watch the dailies in 3D for over 2 hours, and they don't have any kind of eye strain or anything like that. And so I would imagine that this is something where in 10 years, if this actually takes off and people start filming this way, it's not something we're going to notice anymore.
Yeah.
And in the interview with Harry Knowles, Douglas Trumbull did say, he pointed out something interesting, which is that especially in movies like Transformers, anytime that you pause the action, you realize that the whole screen is just sort of blurry. Like, you're not actually seeing anything happen. You're just seeing like this blur, and your eyes are assuming what you're supposed to be seeing more than you're actually watching something happen as if it were real. And so the idea that upping that frame rate would make that better does kind of make sense. But we'll see. I'm intrigued, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I think that if this is like fresh and experimental, they should probably try it on something that people are going to care less about. I don't know if The Hobbit's the best.
Well, they had like the Back to the Future ride at Universal, like this 3D one, that was shot at a higher frame rate. I think it was 60 back in the 90s or something, or even before that. And that was sort of their big test.
I didn't notice while I was there.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
No.
I have to think really hard. I haven't been on that ride in 6 years or something. So
yeah, that was directed by this guy who has been promoting it for all these years. And I believe he said that it's at 60 frames per second. It might be 48, but I think it's 60, and it's all in 3D, and that's sort of why they did it that way.
It was like standard definition, film. So
right,
maybe a higher frame rate on digital HD is way better than the Back to the Future ride, like more jarring.
Possible.
So
this is possible.
Hopefully, it doesn't ruin The Hobbit.
Cool. In the comic book corner this week, actually, I don't know if I still like that name. I'm still kind of bothering me. So you can tweet us if you have an idea to call the segment real_nerds, or you can email us directly, realnerds@gmail.com, and let me know if you have any ideas.
Any half-decent idea, we'll take it.
Yeah, because comic corner, I don't know.
We are desperate.
I'm not digging it. I was thinking maybe top of the stack, but that's really not.
Ooh, top of the stack.
Pretty good. How about new issue bin?
New issue bin, something like that. So, hey, just tweet me, email me, Facebook me, shoot it to me.
With a bullet.
Carrier pigeon, whatever you want to do. I'm actually going to pick something that kind of shocked me this week. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, as everybody knows. So when FF came out, which is Future Foundation, for those who don't know, after Johnny Storm, the Human Turd. Did I say the Human Turd? The Human Torch died.
Yeah.
Spider-Man took his place in the Fantastic Four, and the Fantastic Four characters didn't think it was right that they called it the Fantastic Four anymore, so they call it FF, Future Foundation. And he was in the first 3 or 4 issues, and then he kind of went away, and it kind of veered off into the actual future of the Fantastic Four, which is their children and their friends and their androids and their dragons. And I mean, it's a really
There's some weird stuff in that book.
It's well written, and the art is really good in it, but it's hard for me to get into because whatever.
No Spider-Man.
Exactly. But this week I was at the comic book shop, and I was browsing the comics, and I saw on the cover it was Johnny Storm eating Cheetos. He came back. I don't know how he's alive again. And Spidey is with him, and the whole issue is Johnny Storm moves into Peter Parker's apartment, and that sounds kind of lame, but it is really funny and really well written, and it's FF number 17. So if you want to like comic book and it's really good and well written and well drawn, it's really funny, and I really highly recommend everybody picking it up. You don't have to worry about any continuity or anything. It's really just those two talking to each other. And if you're a fan of Spider-Man and the Human Torch, they have a couple great little mini-series too that they kind of do, and they've always been kind of best friends in the Marvel Universe, so they always kind of have fun together.
Yeah.
So that's my comic book pick for the week, and you can pick that up.
That's a good one.
You should. It's fun. And you don't need any... Yeah, just pick it up. I took a chance on it because Spider-Man was back in it, and it was funny. So you never know. Sometimes, every once in a while, you find those little hidden gem books.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Chain. You never know.
Ooh.
You never know.
I'm looking for a good copy of that tomorrow.
Nice. So, what we've been watching... What have we been watching? I have watched 2 movies this week. The first one I'll talk about is called The Innkeepers, which came out in February. It's a very low-budget horror movie directed by Ty West. If you don't know who Ty West is, he's kind of an up-and-coming horror director. I was reading a little bit of his bio. He's only 31 years old.
He made that movie that came out on VHS, right?
Yeah, he made a movie called The House of the Devil, which is, it's hard for me to recommend unless you're a horror movie fan, but I really liked it. The pacing of it.
It's an homage to 70s...
Like late 70s, early 80s kind of horror movies.
Is it like slasher or ghost?
No, it's
or...
not slasher at all.
It's like Ghost, or actually Satan worship,
yeah,
I guess.
Satan worshippers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Literally, it's the House of the Devil.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it takes a long time to going, but one thing I do appreciate about Ty West movies, except Cabin Fever 2, is... well, that was his first move. Actually, maybe it was his second movie. He got that after they saw The House of the Devil. And I read an interview with him, and he made a way different movie, and they changed it, and so he disowns that movie. He actually didn't even want his name as the director on it because he was so pissed off about it.
Wow.
So The House of the Devil takes a long time to build up, but what he does is he does a really great job of building up his characters, and that's why I really liked House of the Devil. So when something bad happens to these characters, you really care about them. In The Innkeepers, he does the same thing, but I actually think he succeeds more in doing it. And The Innkeepers is a story about a real hotel called the Yankee Peddler, which is in Connecticut, and it's supposedly one of the most haunted hotels in America. So what he did is he filmed a movie there, and he created a little backstory about Margaret O'Malley, and she was a lady who was trapped in the basement of this hotel, or she was murdered by her husband and trapped in the basement of this, buried in the basement of this hotel, never found, and it's this huge superstition about it. And what makes this movie really good is that the Yankee Peddler is about to close, and the 2 innkeepers there are ghost hunters. And the one guy, Lucas, I think that's his name.
I've forgotten it.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty sure his name's Lucas. Ropes this girl into kind of doing this with him. It's like his idea. He has this really cheesy website about ghost sightings and all this stuff. And
he's an amateur ghost hunter.
Exactly. He's an amateur one, so he's not really even a ghost hunter.
He's not on TLC yet.
Exactly. He's not on TLC. So what he does is he kind of ropes this girl into doing with it, and the girl is Sarah Paxton, and she is amazing in this movie. I love her in this movie. But one night she is just sitting, and she's kind of recording like Egon in Ghostbusters, has the headphones on, and has the...
What's it called? The E...
What is it? No, it's
Scientology.
Listening to the...
It's not ESP, it's
I can't remember what it's called either.
Oh, sorry, white noise.
White
it's
noise.
got a technical term, but it's white noise.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
she's, just messing around. She has the headphones on, and she's messing around with microphone.
The
in.
interference kind of stuff.
EVP, right?
EVP, maybe that's right.
Yeah, I think that's
And all of a sudden you hear the piano play, and you're like, interesting. So she goes out there, and the piano stops, obviously, and he does a really great slow build, and all of a sudden the piano's two bars go bong, and so she's freaked out. She tries to get him going, and the whole time they kind of play on are these people really hearing things, or is it their mind playing tricks on them? And it slowly builds, and as the movie goes along, it actually gets scarier and scarier and scarier, and it's divided into chapters, which they tell a little bit of story, and it's a really good movie. I think everybody should see it.
It's divided like Clerks, where
Exactly.
it's two people sitting at the counter chatting, and then it's chapter 1, chapter 2, instead of like whatever long word.
But they do these little playful things where they say they're going to bed and they run up and hit the bell, and the character moments in it are really what make the movie good. And so when something bad happens to the characters, you feel really you feel it. And there's an old guy who checks in, and he's super creepy, and it's definitely a slow burn, and I think it's definitely worth it. And it's not gory, kind of,
except for the
Yeah.
one part at the end.
one part at the end. But I mean, it's not gory. It's basically playing on your fears of being alone and not understanding what's happening. It's like Blair Witch, but way, way better and more well done, where something's happening and you think something bad's going to happen to these people, but you don't know when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Another fun fact is that hotel that the movie takes place in, that's where they stayed when they shot House of the Devil.
Yeah,
The crew.
Yeah, that's where he got the idea of it. I was reading
Yeah.
a little article, and I'm really interested to listen to his commentary because he does really good commentaries.
Man, that sounds really awesome, and I would really like to see that movie, but
You
I
can-
cannot watch that movie.
You can borrow it. I have it on Blu-ray.
No.
And I love the poster for it. Reminds me
Don't
of
be
the
a
old
wuss,
scary.
James.
I
Yeah,
can't help
totally.
it. It's really easy to scare the poop out of me.
Yeah, and it is scary. And like I
That
said,
piano thing freaked me out in the theater
oh yeah,
because it's so loud.
oh yeah, and it's really cool too because when you turn on the Blu-ray, there's a little screen that comes up and it says the filmmaker recommends that you listen to this movie very loud. Did they say that in the theater too?
I don't remember.
But yeah,
There
it's
might have been
really
something, but
it's really cool, and it's really well shot, and it's really cool character moments that I love, and
I like when a
That's-
director tries to create an experience.
Exactly,
more than just
because-
a narrative.
because what he does, and he did it in even the House of the Devil, is you actually care for this girl. I thought she was so charming in it that you mean you're kind of along the ride with her, and I think actually the creepiest scene for me in the whole movie is she's lying in bed and something's going to happen to her, and then she sits up and nothing happens, and she looks around, then she lays back down, and
Oh, I remember what you're talking about.
and then she
Yeah.
sits up again, and then she looks around, and all of a sudden the sheet behind her slowly raises up. Oh, dude, it's wonderful filmmaking because he understands that people expect something to happen, but he kind of draws it out, and you don't know when it's going to happen, but just the visual of that sheet coming up, oh, dude, it's great.
And then the close up. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, so the movie's creepy, and you should definitely see it. I recommend everybody seeing The Innkeepers.
See, and the problem is, like, I really like horror video games, and every time I play one, like a Dead Space or a BioShock, I am always that person who, like, I only play it at night and only in the dark and want it to scare the crap out of me. But for some reason, movies stick with me longer. Like, if I watch that movie, it will scare me for a week.
Oh yeah, probably.
I'm sure.
I mean, it stayed with me. I don't really get scared in movies, but I mean, there was enough haunting images in that movie where, I mean, there's a part where she's actually a line that broke my heart in it is she's Kelly McGillis is in it, and she doesn't look good anymore. Anyways, she's Top Gun. She's like a psychic, and she tells this girl that, I'm not gonna spoil it, but she tells her something, and she goes to look for her, and it's in the basement, and she's holding this flashlight and she's shaking, and I forget the girl's Lee. She's like, Lee, please don't make me go down there again. And it's just, you're just like, oh my gosh, and you have to see this movie. It's great.
I've
to
loved
say.
Sarah Paxton ever since Aquamarine.
Oh, totally. I loved her since Superhero Movie.
Oh man.
I still think that movie's funny. Anyways,
I was kidding. I've never actually watched Aquamarine. I just
Yeah, whatever you talked about last week. I'm
I know,
pretty
2
sure
weeks
it's your
in a row.
favorite movie of all time.
And the other movie I saw this week is actually, I've seen it before, is they call My Name is Bruce with Bruce Campbell, and that movie is amazing. You really have to be a Bruce Campbell fan to appreciate it, because he is so good in it, and again, everybody else is not very good in it.
yeah.
But he Man, there's moments when I was just laughing my ass off. One of my favorite little bits in it, and it's actually, I was going to make it my Facebook profile picture, is he's in a movie called The Stoogative, and it's just, the poster is The Fugitive, but it's Bruce Campbell running. It's so dorky.
Oh, yeah.
But it's really good, and I got the Blu-ray, and they have this really funny documentary on it, how they made the movie, and they're interviewing Bruce, and he's describing the movie, and then on the screen it comes up and it says, "We're really sorry about how long Bruce is describing this movie. We know that if you're watching the making of the movie, you've already seen the movie, so all these things that he's telling you, you've already seen." And he keeps on going, and this text is going across the screen. It's really funny. But just the way he plays it, and it's great, and that he was able to laugh at himself. One of the cool things that MPH made popular was taking yourself and making yourself a character, and Bruce really sells it in My Name is Bruce, and that's what I saw. And there's a little couple of funny parts when he has this kind of like rally moment like he did in Army of Darkness, and he says, I forget, he says, "This little fart hole of a town," and because he's in Gold Lick, and Ted Raimi plays 3 characters in it. It's really funny. And when Bruce actually meets the Quan Di, the evil Chinese spirit, and he's running away scared, he just wildly shoots a gun. He kills like 3 people from the town. It's so great. And he directed it too.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of cool. Someone wrote it for him, and he directed it and starred in it and produced it. So it's way better than his other directorial effort, which is The Man with the Screaming Brain.
Yeah.
And he makes fun of it a lot in that. And they said, "Are you sure you can go against Quan Di?" He said, "I shot a movie in Ukraine for 2 months. I think I'll be all right." So it's funny that he pokes at himself, and
Yeah.
and I mean, little things for fans. He drinks Shemp whiskey, and in any Sam Raimi movie that they made, if they had to have someone fill in, they'd call him Shemps. If you don't know what a Shemp is, Shemp filled in for when Curly, the original Three Stooges, died. They had the Shemp fill in for him.
Oh.
And you could always tell when it was a fake guy. So in their movies, if you're a Shemp, then you're like a stand-in.
Huh.
So you should see They Call Me Bruce. My Name is Bruce. There's a movie called They Call Me Bruce. It's really funny too. But My Name is Bruce, and you can get it on Blu-ray on Amazon right now for $7.
Nice.
So pick it up. Laugh at the awesomeness that is Bruce Campbell.
Absolutely. Well, I saw a couple things this week. First, to continue my my little David Mamet run, I watched Wag the Dog, which has always been on my list. But
That's a good movie.
yeah, okay, you've already seen it. Because I was going to say, you really liked Dr. Strangelove, which so did I. But it feels a lot like that, because it's very much a satire about sort of the way the government works. And Brad, have you seen it?
I saw it like back when it came out.
Yeah.
I've forgotten it since then.
Basically, Robert De Niro and Dustin Hoffman both play, they're these 2 guys that are sort of producing a story to distract Americans from the fact that the president was caught like in a sex scandal with like a really young girl. And they basically conjure up a war with Albania and conjure up a war hero, and like every step of the way, it's basically one long lie that keeps getting worse and worse, and these people just keep going to the next level to cover things up. And every time something goes wrong, they pretend like it's a good thing and somehow work it into something new. And so it's basically this long satire of the way that our sort of government media works. And it was good. It was a movie that it's weird. It's not entirely scripted. It was scripted by 2 guys, and one of them was David Mamet. And just David Mamet comedy doesn't seem right. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't work for me the whole time. I didn't really laugh at the movie until maybe the last act, you know, sort of when Woody Harrelson comes in, because he is so just jumping off of the page that it's hard not to laugh at that character. And the rest of it almost feels ham-fisted, sort of, in the way that Doctor Strangelove doesn't. But it was still really good.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. Yeah, I think Doctor Strange... I know I never saw Doctor Strangelove until recently, and I think it's a brilliant movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything you said is, yeah. I mean, the actors in Wag the Dog are really good, though.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And Dustin Hoffman, man, his character is just great. I would like to know exactly how much Mamet worked with the other guy whose name was... woman, Hillary Henkin. It's adapted from a book as well, and directed by Barry Levinson. And so I'd like to know exactly how much Barry Levinson or David Mamet was involved. because it doesn't feel like the other movies of his that I've seen. So it's sort of strange. So next week I'll get back to a normal David Mamet movie. But it's not strangely connected to David Mamet. It didn't premiere this week. It premiered a week ago, but I didn't get a chance to see the first episode until this week of Girls, the new HBO show that's produced by Judd Apatow, and it's created by Lena Dunham, who is also the main actress, and it's fantastic. I sort of was expecting something more along the lines of Freaks and Geeks, but this is sort of like, it's somewhere between Louis and Sex and not even Sex and the City. It is like the anti-Sex and the City. It is actually following 4 young women in their lives in New York City, and it feels so realistic that I don't even know that I am qualified as a man to judge how realistic the show is. Like that's how on the spot this show feels. It's honest. If nothing else, like if you don't think the show is funny, if you think it's too crude to be funny, it is still so honest that I love those characters. Basically it's about this girl who, she's 24, she's been supported by her parents for 2 years, and she has an internship she's not getting paid for, and her parents basically just cut her off, and she's got to try and suddenly like find her way in the city. And then she has these other quirky friends that have sort of that they are both realistic and have real problems, but they're funny and fun to be around. And you got to check it out, at least that first episode, because it's really special. It's a show that I will desperately be looking for every single week.
You can find it on HBO.
You can. I think the first episode was free online.
I'm sure it was. They do that a lot.
Yeah. And and the reason I said it was strangely connected to David Mamet is that his daughter is one of the actresses in the show, which I just figured out a minute ago. Yeah. Brad, what have you been watching?
All I saw was Due Date.
Nice.
And that was all right.
Nice.
I've still never seen it.
I love Robert.
Yeah. It's got some funny lines.
Me and Bobby.
Yeah, me and Rob go way back.
You and your buddy Robbie. It was all right. Had some funny lines, but I mean, it's just a road trip movie.
Yeah, I think it's really funny though.
Yeah.
I think the 2 actors kind of elevate it.
Yeah,
I can see
definitely
that.
make it better than, because the story is just really shallow. But it's their performances and their quirks that make it.
I love
better.
when he punches that kid in the gut.
That's kind of how I feel about Todd Phillips in general.
RDJ is such like a dick, like a really
he's pretty bad.
fun
in
to
that
watch
movie,
dick in that movie. Yeah. Sorry, you were saying something?
I was saying that's kind of how I feel about Todd Phillips in general. That like his movies are okay on their own, and then the actors take it to another level.
Yeah.
Especially Zach Galifianakis.
Oh yeah, he's
like without him in the first Hangover movie, I don't think that movie would have gotten a sequel.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Wow,
Cool.
that's exciting, Brad.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Well, he spent all week.
I can talk
Trying
about
to-
how I watched The Office again or Mad Men, if you prefer.
Boo.
Oh, Mad Men was crazy this week. I don't remember what it was though.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it was a really good episode because it is the 3 party stories.
Oh yes! Oh my gosh! Oh, that was so good,
yeah.
Wake
man.
me up when you're done with this shit.
That's
Oh.
all right.
Well, because
I don't know
you
what to say
didn't
about it.
you didn't
7
realize
days
what,
ago.
or at least I didn't realize what they were doing storytelling wise until
Until they got to Don's story.
Yeah, because they basically they had 3 stories going on at the same time, but you didn't really realize. It was just like at the end of Peggy's story, all of a sudden Don calls and is freaking out and you don't know why, and then they rewind and tell Roger's story, but you don't realize that's happening at the same time until the end of that, which is just great.
I didn't realize the Peggy's towards the end of her story, like she was still high, which explains
why she did what she did.
Yeah, so it was cool. I don't want to get in too much because this guy's gonna fall asleep.
Yeah, he is. But it was a
Don
really great
Draper.
episode, man.
He drinks and smokes. He's really funny.
Oh man, and
Yeah,
this
John
episode-
Hamm in real life.
There was actually a moment that you, as a misogynist, would really like, where.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
What a fucking
but
dick.
he leaves his wife in Canada.
Yeah.
Like they have a fight in a diner, and he just walks out, gets in the car, and drives
Don't
away.
leave me, Don.
Yeah, yeah, and he just drives
You know.
away.
You
And
don't
you're
fuck
like,
with Don Draper. I know
are
that.
you insane?
Then he comes back like a lost dog. looking
Oh
for her.
yeah.
Don't leave me. Don't leave me.
Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah.
What a great episode.
Anywho.
Anywho, this week we saw the 5-Year Engagement. Brad, should people go see the 5-Year Engagement?
Gosh, romantic comedy. Actually, yes.
Right on. Jimmy Jamma James?
Yes, go see the 5-Year Engagement unless you're old. Because if you're old, you're gonna like completely misbehave in a theater and not know how to stay quiet. So
That's a generalization.
well, I've been to a lot of movies in the last year, and old people suck. Sorry, Mom
Wow.
and Dad.
Wow. Wow, and he just calls Mom and Dad old. Yeah, you should definitely go see this movie. I thought it was really funny, surprisingly, because I saw one trailer for it before I went and saw it, so...
Yeah, and I think the trailer sort of sells it as fairly pedestrian, and I think it's a little more than
It
that.
does. Hey, Brad, I think if you just push that button right there, I think the trailer will start.
What,
yeah.
this button?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one.
Wait.
No, not that one!
No, not that one, dumbass. That one.
Yeah, oh gosh, who?
Okay.
Whoa. Okay, yeah. Now,
Halfway or all the way?
all the way in.
It's a button, it's not a
half,
dial.
Half whole.
Click.
Violet, I love you. Will you marry me?
Said I love you, boy, I love you so. Said I love you, baby, oh.
This engagement party is a moment to celebrate a new future, but not without first exploring a past. Jenny Newman, Greta Kay, Anna Pena, Lizzie Gray, this Korean, that Korean, and Lizzie Gray again.
Okay, that's enough. I think that's enough, right?
I got a letter from the University of Michigan. I got a job for 2 years.
2 years is nothing.
Really?
And we'll start planning the wedding again from there.
Babe.
We both know I deserve to get super laid for this.
Do you want me to wear a cape or something?
I want the show.
You get the Cirque du Soleil of shows. Lots of this and this stuff. It's gonna be fun.
How's Michigan?
Oh, it's a fire hydrant!
All in all, it's an adjustment.
Here's our guest list. Like 600 people. No. Maybe just you don't want to get in front of this train, but...
Have you two picked a date yet?
Not yet, but within the year.
Congratulations, you've been promoted. You're going to be with us for a few more years.
Can't wait to tell Tom.
You told me that it was going to be 2 years. It's sort of like when you're on a treadmill and you tell yourself, I'm going to run 5 miles today, and now it's forever miles.
When was the last time you were on a treadmill? Sorry. This is supposed to be exciting. This is your wedding. You only get a few of these.
Well, I wonder... Of course, the men will wear yarmulkes.
Babe, you don't have a yarmulke.
I have a hold. It's in my Jewish drawer.
I don't think we can figure out all of our problems before we get married, but I promise you that I will just love you every step of the way.
Any ideas when this wedding might happen? Grandparents do have a tendency to die.
Mom, they're all right there.
Well, for now.
This is why we do not delay weddings.
The 5-Year Engagement.
What a cute little flower girl you'll be.
And Pocahontas.
You don't have to say click, James. You can hear the click.
What really surprised me about this movie, actually, it's not that surprising. I love Emily Blunt.
Oh yeah.
I mentioned it in my movie recap from last year. I like The Adjustment Bureau a lot, almost basically because she's so charming. And again, in this movie, she proved that she's really charming and she's really funny.
And Jason Segel is always.
Oh, Jason Segel. You know, one of the things I think that I really respect about Jason Segel is he writes most of the movies he stars in, and I think he's really found a way to write his voice very well.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that sounds kind of stupid, but I mean, for me to write me into a movie, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think he understands his strengths as a comedian.
Yeah.
And he's very good at exploiting them on film.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say the one thing that worried me the most about this movie is that I am, in all honesty, I am not I'm not a Nick Stoller fan.
He did the Muppets.
Well, yes, but I feel like he has a problem with his editing. I do. Like and this movie is that as well, where I think that his movies have...
Are you talking about pacing or editing scenes?
You're right. It's more the pacing. It's
Yeah,
his
actually,
movies
yeah,
sort of
sometimes that too.
meander, like especially Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which was his
Sometimes,
first directorial movie. It just sort of meanders, and this one is that way too. Like plot things would change in this movie, and I would think, okay, well, wait, we've spent so much time getting where we are. If you go in a completely different direction, I don't know where I am anymore. Like, I don't know where we're going. Which is it's interesting. It's fresh. It makes the movie feel different. That's for sure. But it can make it feel long-winded as well.
Yeah, I think so too. I think sometimes though it has a more organic feel when you do it like that. Sometimes, I mean, I understand like sometimes the pacing is an issue, but I think sometimes if the scenes drag on a little bit, it has a little more organic feel to it.
Yeah, it's more in the because he doesn't follow like a 3-act structure.
Oh no, not
and I
at
don't.
all.
Not everybody should, but it just, I don't know. It makes me feel a little bit lost in his movies. They're always good for moment to moment. They're always good, but I tend to like get worried that we're going to go somewhere I'm not expecting to go, or that I don't want to go. But then it always ends up working. The one thing I will say about it this time is that spoilers, at the end they get married.
Dick.
Well, we're in the spoiler section. When they finally got married, it was such a release because it felt like, oh man, we've been watching them for like 2.5 hours, just like going all over the place.
I think the movie's only like an hour 45 minutes.
It felt long. And so when they finally got married, it felt really good, and I was actually kind of excited for them in a way that I think most movies that end with a wedding I wouldn't be.
Yeah, you know what's weird is as I'm getting older, the scene where they're in the 9-1 Yum taco truck, and they start I start getting like little like heartstrings pulled. Like I've noticed that's happened to me as I've gotten older. And I was like, well, I'm not. Why do I feel like sad? I should,
dude.
Like I should not care, but
I'm a man and I'm about to start crying.
I know.
I have cried at more movies in the last year than I have cried probably in my life.
Because you have a vagina.
No.
No, I'm not saying I cry, but you know what I mean.
No,
Like,
no, I totally know what you mean.
Because you can feel it. Like,
oh yeah,
you're like, oh my gosh, these two should be together.
Yeah. I find myself falling for sappier shit as I get older.
There we go. Yeah, you know the sappy crap is just the stuff that I don't know what it is lately, but something's just pulling me. I mean, there's. Like, even the movie you guys didn't like, Real Steel, where, the son's so happy to see this.
How many times do I have to tell you? I liked the movie. I didn't love it. I just liked it. I didn't hate it.
But, when his son...
I thought it was good. I just didn't connect with it
his
emotionally.
son was so happy to see, Hugh Jackman in a boxing match. I said, go you can beat this robot. But what you really want to talk about is Alison Brie. I know, James. I mean, that's...
there is a disturbing amount of time where Alison Brie is not in this movie.
I know, she's not wearing anything low cut, really. I mean, what's that about?
I don't, that part I'll take or leave. Cause
she's so cute. Like,
she's fantastic.
And Chris Pratt as his friend was amazing.
Yeah.
The supporting characters in this movie, again, really shined. Brian Posehn as his
Michigan friend.
His Michigan friend was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And Ming, the experiment, they're all psychologists, and they're doing these psychological experiments. And this guy in them, at the very beginning, when they're all sitting around and they're trying to think of a new experiment, Ming has an idea of pouring somebody with blood all over them, put feathers on them, put a gun in their hand, and yell, "Wake up!" And
why is the gun actually loaded?
I know. And so you say that, and it's like, oh, look how crazy it is. And then they show it happening later on in the movie with, what was his character's name? Brian Posehn? Posehn?
I don't remember. I remember him as alcoholic Minnesota friend.
Michigan.
I can't remember.
And when he said, I'm an alcoholic at their engagement party, and everybody clapped.
Yeah. Oh, his name is Tarkin. That's why it's hard to remember, yeah.
Grand Moff Tarkin?
Yeah, exactly.
So that was really funny.
Oh gosh, the scene when they're like making bread or whatever, and she comes in and she's drunk, and she like starts to throw up, and then it makes him start to throw up. That was fantastic.
Or what was his line?
That little noise he was making, like oh,
when she threw up, and she's like, he said, "Oh, gross, you ate it."
Did you just eat it? Oh,
yeah, it's great.
It's so, oh man.
So the supporting characters were really good in this movie.
Yeah,
like I said, I love Emily Blunt. I don't know, she's just, to me, she's really cute. I mean, she's not like super hot, but she's really cute.
Yeah.
And she's really good in movies, and she has an ability to have chemistry with people that's really well. And her and Alison Brie, I thought, had actually the funniest moment in the movie when they were talking.
Sesame Street characters.
Yeah, well, because what was funny is the whole scene is set up that they're talking like adults, but Alison Brie's child.
Well, they're talking like adults, but trying to hide what they're saying from the kid a little.
Yeah, so the kid tells Alison Brie's character to talk like Elmo, and then tells Emily Blunt's character to talk like Cookie Monster. So they're having these real serious discussion with these Sesame Street characters, and it's really funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Jason Segel again, Jim Henson, shout out.
And I'm really conflicted about this because as much as everything I just said about the pacing is true, I also kind of think that this movie it's kind of neat that they don't do the stuff you're expecting. Like they don't arrive at the ending the way that you expect them to. You know, the fact that they spend that long section of time apart is really kind of strange, and I didn't see that coming.
And we did see Dr. Kirk Connors too.
Oh yeah.
I really appreciated that they didn't go, like, they actually did something different with the end wedding, you know?
Yeah.
The conclusion.
It wasn't just like, and they get married.
And they also did
every wedding you've ever seen before, yeah.
And they also didn't do that depressing, that they're so lost without the person and they don't do anything.
They have, like, some pop music montage.
Yeah, they actually go on with their lives. And then
like
they
when
kind of
get...
re-find each other.
Yeah, which was really cool.
Yeah, because you don't see that too often. But we always knew Dr. Kirk Connors was a lizard. Slippery motherfucker. For people who don't know.
I love that guy.
For people who don't know what I'm talking about, it's Rhys Ifans. He's also a doctor in this.
And a creep. Wait.
Wow. Well, I don't think Dr. Kirk Connors is ever a creep. He's always been married and has a kid.
Well, watch that trailer again. He seems more villainous.
Yeah, in this one he's a little...
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was really good.
I think too. I thought it was really funny. Even Chris Parnell was kind of funny in it as the stay-at-home dad, and he knits sweaters that are terrible.
Yeah.
But are really funny.
Low moment of the movie? Molly Shannon.
Yeah.
She showed up, and then I didn't care anymore. And then she went away. I was happy.
Just a little cameo. I don't understand why she was just a little cameo in it.
Yeah.
Was she in another one of their
doing
movies?
anything else, so.
Yeah. Chris Parnell was there, SNL people.
Maybe it's an SNL
Dude, no,
thing.
the best little cameo was the Indian guy that's always in the Judd Apatow movies. That guy showing up again.
The chef job in San Francisco. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Dumb, yeah.
Or you dumb motherfucker? I forget what he says. Funny though.
Yeah, no, I think it was. Are you out of your fucking mind? Yeah. Oh, that was good.
So yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. I think people should go see it. Yeah, I mean, the comedies this year have been kind of really good.
Yeah.
21 Jump Street. I like to do this party.
American.
I'm sexy and I know it.
I'm sexy and I know it.
That's not part of that song I know, and it's supposed to be a really popular song.
I don't understand popular music. I listen to bluegrass all day.
Yeah, dude, I listen to Rod Stewart.
Yeah, nobody likes us.
No, not at all.
I have a Dave Matthews sticker on my car. People throw eggs at me sometimes.
Really? Dave Matthews?
No, but I kind of expect them to. Subconsciously, I think I deserve it.
Anything else you want to add to the 5-year engagement?
No, I was just thinking, like, we're not music nerds, so you don't have to worry about that on the podcast. rom-com is the lowest on my genre
because
of categories that I like, and sorry, continue talking.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah, so I felt like this is inventive and a different entry in the genre. Having that Apatow cred helps, and they don't go back. They take everything from those wells and elevate them and make them different and interesting and entertaining, and not just catering to the unrealistic expectations that those other movies deliver.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, because I even sort of hesitate to call it a rom-com because
I just call it comedy.
It so falls into like that chick flick kind of mentality that really is a genre that's like just untouchably awful. You're 10 Things I Hate About... You're not 10 Things I Hate About You. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Day kind of formulaic
Kate Hudson.
movies.
She has like a movie coming out in the summer that looks redonkulously stupid.
Oh, I'm sure. Is it Raising Helen 2? Ugh. to be fair, I've seen all these movies, and they're all really bad.
And that's not being fair. That's being, unfortunately, to be you.
Well,
Because
yeah.
I would not see those movies. My wife owns those movies, and they
It's
will
un-
not be played while I'm around.
It's unfortunate to be me a lot of times.
Oh, James.
Don't bring it on the show, James.
So,
Think
you know,
of others.
so I'm pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed this movie. I mean, I thought it might be pretty good, but you know, I really didn't see anything about it. They really didn't hype it too much.
Yeah.
Kind of quietly. But again, I don't really watch TV, so they might be hyping it. I don't know.
I knew that at least the 15 minutes with Alison Brie were going to be just magical.
And they were. You know, actually, you know, we didn't mention that her toast at their engagement party
gosh.
was amazing.
It was
at the
so
beginning.
good.
Just left the camera on her and let her go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I don't know what voice she was doing, this English accent that she was trying to hold back her tears.
Yeah.
I'm
So she goes really deep.
Alison Brie is amazing.
When she gets the big doe eyes going and she's like, her makeup is all running and she just looks pitiful.
Alison Brie, look out because James will be finding you.
No, what? No, not in a creepy way.
I don't know. It sounded pretty creepy to me.
No, it was adorable.
Alison Brie. You can watch her every week on Community, which you should be.
Yeah. Man, this week's episode was good.
Go Community. Hey, you know what's happening next week? The Avengers.
Yeah.
Summer officially kicks off.
Wait.
Thursday.
What's the Avengers? The British TV show? They're making a movie out of that?
Well, with Uma Thurman. They're showing it at the Esquire at midnight.
Ray Fiennes. Ray Fiennes and
going
Uma
to see
Thurman.
it.
That sounds amazing.
Or
wait, do you mean
it
Marvel's
sounds
The
amazing?
Avengers?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Marvel's The Avengers. I gotta say that. Disney Marvel's The Avengers.
I can't believe they have to write it like that.
Jim Henson's Disney's Marvel's The Avengers.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So I'm really excited for that because summer officially kicks off with The Avengers, and The Avengers is getting amazing reviews internationally.
Oh yeah, it's already broken records in New Zealand.
Yeah, and I was reading an article that Why can't I fucking talk today?
The Avengers.
The Avengers has already outsold every other Marvel movie combined in pre-sales tickets.
What?
Yeah.
That's redonkulous.
Compared to Thor, it's up like 3,000% in ticket sales.
Oh man.
So I'm guessing 190 opening weekend.
And that's probably safe, yeah.
Because I mean
I'm gonna see it twice, maybe 3 times opening weekend. So
I'm really excited. One, because I'm so excited that Joss Whedon has a huge blockbuster that he rightfully deserves.
Oh yeah.
And he's doing a superhero movie, and that he pulled it off. I think it's at 96% right now on Rotten Tomatoes, which is really good.
Yeah, I mean it's got better buzz than like Captain America did from critics.
Yeah, so
which is good because Captain America was good enough.
I loved Captain America.
So this will be amazing.
So I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Because
plus it starts summer.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna have good movies for a while.
Well, I don't know. The next
like
week we're seeing
Battleship.
Dark Shadows.
Oh.
It goes Dark Shadows and Battleship, I believe. Is
Yeah,
the 2
Dark
weeks
Shadows
after
and
that.
Battleship. Man, things are looking up.
And then Men in Black 3. No.
There's an alternative to Battleship.
Yeah, but we're not seeing it. 'Cause
What's
we're
the
seeing
alternative?
Battleship.
I forget. I just remember there is one.
No, there is something else that weekend. I will fight you guys.
I think it's an indie movie.
Anyways, you can follow us on Twitter, real_nerds. You can like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can email us directly, realnerds@gmail.com. Hey, did you know Brad watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and wrote a commentary with timestamps on it that you can read and watch the movie at realnerds.tumblr.com?
What? No, I didn't.
Make sure you check it out. It's really funny. And I will say this, I haven't seen that movie in years, but reading Brad's little comments about it, it started like making the movie flash in my head, and like the Kino thing. I'm like, oh yeah, that dude's in it, and things like that. And I forgot that they replaced the April O'Neil and things like that. Made me kind of laugh, and how dorky it is.
We should get it recorded though at some point because I would like to hear you sing "Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go"
That
at
would
the
be
end.
awesome, and I want to see the dance.
Well, if it were recorded, because you typed it out at the end. So
Oh, yeah.
I would
did.
assume that you were singing it as you typed it.
I was remembering it from having watched it. But yeah, I do want to do an audio version.
So stay tuned for that.
I want to do an audio version of 2 because I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
So next week, Avengers Assemble.